Things have been spiraling for the New York Yankees in ways that no one could have fully anticipated, even after all the moves they made at the trade deadline. Going into the season, the expectation was that the Yankees' bullpen would be a fortress, something their team could rely on to shut down opponents late in games. That was supposed to be the answer to the inconsistency that had plagued them in the first half of the year, the piece that would turn their strong lineup into a dominant, nearly unstoppable force. But as we've watched unfold over the past few weeks, it's become painfully obvious that the problems run much deeper than just the relievers. It's not simply a case of a bullpen underperforming. There are cracks throughout the entire pitching staff, from the top of the rotation all the way to the end, and it's causing fans, analysts, and even casual observers to question what exactly is going wrong with this storied franchise. The Yankee season has been a roller coaster, and it's not the fun, exhilarating kind that makes you throw your hands up and cheer the highs. It's the kind that leaves fans on edge, wondering if every win is just a fluke, every moment of brilliance masking the bigger issues simmering underneath. Early on, Max Fried and Carlos Rodon looked untouchable at times. There were stretches where it seemed like the Yankees had two of the very best pitchers in Major League Baseball in their rotation. Guys who could carry a team through tough stretches and give them confidence that they could compete with anyone. But the tides have shifted drastically, and now even those pitchers are showing signs of struggle. Fried, in particular, has looked like a different player entirely, battling injuries and inconsistency, leaving fans scratching their heads and trying to understand how a pitcher who seemed so dominant can falter so dramatically. Rodon, while slightly steadier, has also experienced a dip, reminding everyone that even the elite arms aren't immune to the pressures of a long season and a high-stakes environment like New York. Then there's the bullpen, which has gone from being a point of pride to a glaring liability. Coming into the year, the Yankees relievers were supposed to be their safety net, the guys who could hold any lead and handle high-pressure situations with ease. Now, it feels like every inning pitched in the late frames is a gamble. Walks, missed spots, and blown opportunities have become common occurrences, and the confidence that fans once had in the Yankees' relief corps has eroded. Statistically, the bullpen is sitting near the bottom of the league rankings, which is a shocking reality for a team that has historically boasted one of the deepest and most reliable collections of arms in baseball. The fear isn't just that they're struggling. It's that the struggles seem to have reached a point where no amount of mid-game adjustments can fix the situation. Every outing is tense. Every matchup feels like it could go either way, and that's not the standard the Yankees expect for themselves. One of the most troubling aspects of this whole scenario is watching players who were acquired to be difference makers simply fail to deliver. Camilo Doval is a prime example. Coming over from the Giants, Doval was supposed to be a strikeout artist, a high-octane arm capable of swinging momentum with one pitch. With a fastball that lights up the radar gun and a breaking pitch that had hitters flailing in frustration, he represented exactly the kind of weapon the Yankees were hoping to add to their bullpen. Yet, from the moment he arrived in New York, he has struggled to find any rhythm. His numbers with the Yankees tell a story of frustration and underperformance, with earned run averages ballooning and strikeouts dwindling. It's not just a minor slump. It's a complete departure from what made him effective in San Francisco. Every outing seems to underline the challenge of translating success from one environment to another, and in Doval's case, it has turned what should have been a boost into another point of concern for the team. And it's not just him. Jake Bird is another reliever who is expected to contribute meaningfully, but has yet to make an impact. He arrived with some expectations, and in a perfect world, would have become a reliable piece of the Yankees' late-inning puzzle. But 3 outings later, his results were disheartening, leading to a quick demotion and leaving the bullpen even thinner than before. Even with someone like David Bednar, who has shown flashes of brilliance, the overall picture is far from the dominant, intimidating unit the Yankees envisioned. It's a situation that has fans worried about what the postseason might look like if this current level of performance continues, and it raises uncomfortable questions about team management, player development, and the challenges of sustaining excellence in one of baseball's most scrutinized environments. The pressure in New York is unlike anywhere else in sports. Playing for the Yankees isn't just about talent. It's about performing under constant scrutiny, with every pitch analyzed and every mistake magnified. The franchise's legacy, 27 World Series titles, generations of legends, a global reputation, means that nothing short of excellence is acceptable. For players like Duvall or Bird, the weight of expectation can be immense, and it often shows in performance when things aren't clicking. Some adapt, some crumble, and some fluctuate between the two. That dynamic is evident in the Yankees' current bullpen and starting rotation, and it's made this season particularly tense. When a team like the Yankees struggles, it isn't just a story about numbers on a page. It's a story about pressure, psychology, and the unforgiving nature of sports at the highest level. Looking at the rotation, the issues aren't limited to one pitcher. Max Fried's blister problems have impacted his ability to maintain consistency. And though Carlos Rodon has had better outings, the overall picture isn't encouraging. Younger arms are showing promise, like Luis Gil, who seems to be finding his footing, but the aces, the ones you count on to set the tone, aren't performing at the level expected. When you pair that with a bullpen that is failing to hold leads or close out games reliably, the entire pitching strategy comes into question. Questions about whether teams have figured out the Yankees' approach, whether opposing hitters are capitalizing on patterns, or whether management decisions are hindering performance, all swirl around the team, creating a sense of urgency and unease that permeates everything from the dugout to the stands. This isn't just about talent. It's about timing, chemistry, and execution. The Yankees' struggles highlight how delicate success can be in baseball, how quickly a team can go from being dominant to being vulnerable. For fans who have been riding the highs and lows of this season, it's been a lesson in patience, frustration, and the harsh realities of professional sports. Every appearance by a struggling reliever or a rotation arm who isn't at his best becomes a story, a talking point, a source of anxiety. And every game against a rival like the Boston Red Sox intensifies the scrutiny, making each misstep feel even more consequential. The struggles of Camilo Duvall serve as a microcosm of this dilemma. His arrival in New York was supposed to be a turning point, a high-velocity addition capable of bringing swing-and-miss dominance to the late innings. With a fastball that could top 100 miles per hour and a slider that had already caused nightmares for hitters in San Francisco, expectations were sky-high. But expectations in New York can be a double-edged sword. Duvall has not only struggled to replicate his previous form, but seems to be fighting against the environment itself. The statistics are jarring. A sharp rise in earned run average, a decline in strikeouts, and a noticeable drop in confidence with each outing. It's not a minor slump. It's a pattern that is difficult to ignore. The pressure of pitching in Yankee Stadium, the constant media attention, the weight of a franchise that expects nothing less than excellence, all seem to have compounded the challenge. It's a reminder that talent alone is rarely enough when you're asked to perform under the microscope that is Major League Baseball's most scrutinized franchise. Jake Bird, another bullpen acquisition, mirrors some of these issues. He came with promise, someone who could stabilize innings and provide consistency. Yet his performance has been a stark illustration of how difficult it is to translate potential into results in the Bronx. Bird's outings were brief, but memorable for all the wrong reasons, prompting a quick reassignment and leaving the bullpen thinner than before. When you consider the totality of the Yankees' relievers, it's clear that the roster, while talented on paper, is not functioning cohesively in reality. Even David Bednar, who has shown flashes of elite performance, cannot carry the entire unit alone. The gap between expectation and execution has never been more apparent, and the longer it persists, the more difficult it becomes to regain confidence, both on the field and among the fan base. The starting rotation is no different. Max Fried's injury has been a significant factor in his decline. Once considered one of the most dominant pitchers in the league, he now struggles with a blister that has impacted not only his mechanics, but also his mental approach on the mound. It's hard to watch a pitcher who once seemed untouchable now fighting to locate his pitches and keep hitters off balance. Rodon, on the other hand, has shown glimpses of steadiness, but But even he is not immune to the collective pressure that seems to weigh down this pitching staff. The younger starters, like Luis Gil, are slowly finding their rhythm, but their progress highlights the contrast between potential and reality. Talent can only carry you so far if the supporting pieces aren't performing. The narrative extends beyond individual players, too. There are concerns about whether opposing teams have deciphered the Yankees' pitching approach. Strategies that once relied on overwhelming velocity and selective pitch usage may now be exposed, leaving the team vulnerable. Coaches emphasize maximizing fastball usage, limiting the repertoire to 2 or 3 effective pitches, and trusting in your best stuff for short stints. But when those strategies fail, it's easy to wonder if the methods themselves are flawed or if it's purely a matter of execution. Observers have started asking whether the Yankees' pitchers have been figured out by the league, and it's a question that lingers, especially given the combination of declining performance and mounting pressure. All of this comes against the backdrop of one of the most demanding fan bases in sports. The Yankees are not just another team. They're the embodiment of expectations, history, and cultural significance in Major League Baseball. The pressure to perform is omnipresent, and any lapse is magnified. Players who might thrive elsewhere struggle to find their footing in the Bronx, and even established stars are not immune to the intensity. The mental toll of pitching for the Yankees is enormous, and the physical toll is no less significant. When you combine these factors with injuries, inconsistent performances, and the occasional lapse in strategy, it creates a perfect storm that is extremely difficult to navigate. The result is a season that has felt turbulent at best. Every start, every relief appearance carries enormous weight, and the outcomes are rarely predictable. Fans who hoped that trade acquisitions and bullpen reinforcements would stabilize the team are left frustrated, watching high-profile arms struggle in situations that should be routine. The irony is that when the Yankees' talent aligns and performs, they're virtually unbeatable, yet those moments have been fleeting. Instead of a team that dominates through depth and skill, the Yankees are now fighting through uncertainty, hoping that small adjustments can yield big results. And yet, there are glimpses of hope. Amid the chaos, some players are emerging as reliable contributors. Luis Gil's improvement is a bright spot, demonstrating that growth and adaptation are possible even under immense pressure. Rodon, despite inconsistency, has had stretches of competence that show the rotation is not beyond repair. David Bednar remains a dependable force in the bullpen, a reminder that not everything is broken. These pieces, while not sufficient to erase the broader concerns, offer a foundation for recovery if the team can find ways to maximize their potential collectively. The Yankees' struggles also underscore the unpredictable nature of baseball itself. One hot streak, one dominant outing, one key save, and momentum can shift dramatically. That's part of what makes the sport so compelling and why the stakes are so high in New York. Every player's performance is magnified, every mistake is scrutinized, and every success is celebrated in the shadow of a franchise that demands nothing less than excellence. For fans, it is both exhilarating and exasperating, a constant reminder of why the Yankees remain one of the most compelling teams to watch in all of sports. In evaluating the Yankees, it's impossible to ignore the intersection of talent, expectation, and pressure. The combination of a struggling bullpen, inconsistent starters, and high-profile underperformers has created a narrative that is difficult to untangle. Every game, every inning, every pitch tells a story about the fragility of performance at the highest level, and the margins for error are razor-thin. What was once a team that fans could count on to perform in critical moments now feels fragile, with every misstep amplified and every success fleeting. The challenge for the Yankees is as much mental as it is physical. Every outing is a test of resilience. Every inning a chance to prove that the team can rise above the adversity it currently faces. The eyes of the baseball world are upon them, and the weight of history presses down with every pitch. For players like Camilo Doval and Jake Bird, the challenge is personal as much as it is professional. Can they reclaim the form that made them desirable acquisitions, or are they succumbing to the pressure and environment that define playing in New York? The answers to these questions will shape not only the season, but potentially the trajectory of their careers and the fate of a team with championship aspirations. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The New York Yankees appear to be on the verge of yet another headline-grabbing move, as whispers around the league suggest that Marcus Stroman, the flamboyant and fiercely competitive pitcher, is inching closer to donning the iconic pinstripes. Sources within the clubhouse hint at a mix of excitement and disbelief, with fans and media alike speculating on the potential impact of such a signing. Stroman, known for his electric fastball, pinpoint control, and fearless mound presence, has long been a figure capable of turning a game on its head with a single-pitch sequence, and the mere idea of him joining the Yankees has already sent shockwaves across social media. Conversations in sports bars and forums alike are buzzing with theories about how he might fit into the starting rotation, with some suggesting that his experience in high-pressure situations could be the key component in a team chasing postseason glory. Analysts are already dissecting the Yankees roster, wondering how manager Aaron Boone will adjust his rotation to accommodate such a talent. There is no shortage of opinions, from those predicting immediate domination to skeptics questioning his consistency. Yet the undercurrent of anticipation is undeniable, and the Yankees' faithful seem ready to welcome a player who embodies both intensity and charisma. The mere hint of Stroman in pinstripes has created a palpable energy around Yankee Stadium. Rumors suggest that the Yankees' locker room has been abuzz for weeks with speculation surrounding Marcus Stroman, and whispers indicate that his arrival could mark a pivotal moment for the team's season. Inside sources have hinted that front office strategists see him as more than just a talented pitcher. They see a leader who brings both personality and performance under high-stakes circumstances. Fans, of course, have taken to social media, with hashtags trending as they speculate on Stroman's potential debut, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of past blockbuster signings that have galvanized the franchise. Baseball analysts and insiders are dissecting every angle of the rumor, debating how Stroman's unique pitching style, including his trademark quick delivery and fierce competitiveness, could alter matchups in the American League East. Even rival teams are reportedly watching closely, wary of the shakeup that a pitcher of his caliber could introduce. The excitement is so infectious that local media outlets are already preparing coverage strategies, anticipating press conferences, interviews, and fan reactions that could rival some of the sport's most dramatic moments. While nothing has been confirmed publicly, the palpable sense of expectancy has permeated every corner of the sports community, creating a speculative buzz that feels nearly tangible, and the mere possibility of Stroman in a Yankees uniform has ignited a fervor that is difficult to contain. The conversation surrounding Marcus Stroman's potential signing with the New York Yankees has transcended typical off-season chatter, evolving into a whirlwind of conjecture, excitement, and analytical debate that seems impossible to ignore. Rumors circulating among insiders suggest that the organization views Stroman not only as an ace on the mound, but also as a cultural force who could energize both the locker room and the fan base. His reputation for intensity and flair has always generated headlines, and the prospect of seeing him navigate Yankee Stadium, facing the pressure cooker expectations of one of baseball's most scrutinized fan bases, is fueling an unprecedented wave of speculation. Commentators are dissecting every nuance of his game, predicting how his repertoire of pitches, including a sharp slider and deceptive changeup, might interact with the opposing lineup's strengths and weaknesses. Enthusiastic supporters are already theorizing about how his presence could shift the dynamics of the rotation, potentially pairing him with other standout pitchers to form a formidable starting staff capable of dominating the league. Even casual fans, drawn in by the electrifying rumors, are engaging in spirited discussions online, debating possible debut dates, opening series matchups, and the potential for Stroman to become a pivotal postseason contributor. As these conversations proliferate, the Yankees organization remains tight-lipped, adding an aura of mystery and anticipation that only amplifies the ongoing fervor. Speculation about Marcus Stroman joining the Yankees has sparked a cultural phenomenon in baseball circles, where every rumor is treated as a possible seismic shift in the league's balance of power. The pitcher's potential transition into the storied franchise is being discussed not just as a sports acquisition, but as a transformative moment capable of altering narratives surrounding the team's ambitions, morale, and performance trajectory. Fans have flooded online forums with elaborate scenarios of how Stroman could redefine pitching strategies, while sports talk shows have devoted entire segments to debating whether his arrival signals a renewed era of dominance for the Yankees. Stroman's reputation for competitiveness, coupled with his charismatic presence, both on and off the field, has amplified the rumor mill, with pundits weighing every aspect of how he might interact with star teammates and influence game outcomes. The excitement extends beyond tactical considerations, reaching the emotional sphere of fans who feel that the possibility of witnessing a player of Stroman's caliber in a Yankees uniform evokes memories of past legends and iconic moments in the franchise's history. The anticipation is building relentlessly, with every passing day fueling speculation that seems almost tangible, as though the city itself is holding its collective breath. As the buzz intensifies, whispers of Marcus Stroman joining the New York Yankees have grown louder, with insiders hinting at imminent developments that could confirm one of the most talked-about rumors of the offseason. The mere mention of his potential signing has already created a frenzied atmosphere around the team's management, with debates raging over his impact on the pitching rotation, bullpen strategy, and overall team cohesion. Fans are reportedly preparing elaborate welcome gestures, social media campaigns, and even themed merchandise in anticipation of what could be a historic addition. Analysts continue to theorize how his aggressive pitching style, combined with a competitive mentality, might disrupt opposing team strategies, suggesting that Stroman's influence could extend beyond the mound to reshape how the Yankees approach critical games. Rumors of contract terms, physical readiness, and potential debut dates circulate in tandem with speculation on team dynamics, with each new tidbit scrutinized for significance. The palpable excitement has permeated every corner of baseball commentary, creating an atmosphere where fact and conjecture blend seamlessly into a collective narrative of anticipation. Whether Stroman's arrival is imminent or still in negotiation, the story has already captured imaginations, driving endless speculation and fervor. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.